Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. In this video, I am going to show you how you can upscale an image by using Stable Diffusion 1.5 model easily, quickly and with a single way. I'm not going to show you multiple ways and I'm not going to confuse you with different configurations and all that stuff. I will keep it very easy. I will keep it just confined to one way, and we will see how to upscale an image, well, which we will be generating through a text prompt. So let's get right into it. Let me show you the whole workflow which I have created earlier, and I will be creating it again from scratch with you, and I will also share this workflow. For now, just focus on the very right where I have two images. The top image is without upscaling, and the bottom image, as you can already see, is the upscaled version. So this is what we are going to do in this tutorial. Let me clear the screen here and we will start from scratch. Now, if you don't know what ComfyUI is, please go to my channel and just type ComfyUI and just follow the first tutorial which says easiest tutorial on ComfyUI. Get it installed and then follow along. This tutorial not only tells you what ComfyUI is but also its different concepts. Okay, so that is done. Next step, on the right hand side, click on load default, and that is going to load the default workflow on your local system. Now, let me make it a bit smaller so that it will fit on the screen. So I'm just going to pause the video and then drag these nodes so that it will fit in. Nothing magical there. So I have arranged these nodes. Now to make things interesting, what I'm going to do in this video, the model which I'm going to use is this Rev Animated, which is based on Stable Diffusion 1.5. So you would need to download it. Just go to Civit AI and then download it from here. I have downloaded the full model, right click on it, save link as, and then it is going to download it in ComfyUI models, and then in the models go to checkpoint and save it here. I already have downloaded it here, so make sure that you have this Rev Animated if you are using the same one. Secondly, for the LoRa, I'm going to use this Psi AI. LoRa is a smaller model which dictates this model to use a specific style. So I'm just going to use this psychedelic images. So I will also be using this LoRa. And then we also need this VAE or variational autoencoder model. I also have downloaded it. So for example, in order to download it, all you need to do is to save link as, and then go to models, and then for Y, just save it in this Y directory. I already have saved it here. And then similarly for LoRa, again, right click on it, save link as, go to ComfyUI models and then save it in the LoRa's. So we have saved these models. I will also be using a control net model to control the direction of this. So for that, I have already downloaded this tiled one. So if you click on tile, right click here and then save link as, go to ComfyUI models and then save it in the control net. And where is this is a control net. I already have saved this tiled one here. And then for the upscale model, I'm going to use this NMKD Superscale. You can just simply search all of these on Civit AI and then right click here, save link as, then models here, and then save it in the upscale model as I have already saved it. So you see we have saved 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 models locally from Civit AI in different directories where our ComfyUI is installed. Now if you want to know what exactly this full model is, what is VAE is, what is this LoRa, what is this control net, and what is this upscale model is, please, as I said, watch my this video where I have shown this concept. As this video is mainly about upscaling, so I'm not going to go into that detail. So but I have shown you that you need to download these models. So now we need to put these models in different nodes on our ComfyUI screen, and let me show you how do we do that. Before I do that, let me give a huge shout out to Massed Compute who are sponsoring this video. If you want to get free GPUs, please take part in this Hacktober 2024 where I will be one of the judges, and then send your LLM generated content and you stand a chance to win $100 in free GPU credit. Okay, so let's go back to ComfyUI. Now here I will be creating everything in front of you, so please pardon any delays there, but I just want to keep it raw. I don't want to edit this video, just to show you what I'm doing so that you could follow along. Okay, first step, you see that this is our load checkpoint or the model. Click here and then select your rev animated. I already have it, so you see I just selected that one. Second, we need to select our LoRa. So just double click here on the empty space and then type here load LoRa, select it, and then move that node here somewhere. And I'm just going to make it smaller, and you see that it has selected the Psi AI already. If you have any other LoRa, you can select any other LoRa, but I'm just going to go with this Psi one. So let's move it slightly here. Now you see that LoRa is selected. So what we need to do here is we need to connect this LoRa with this model. So let's connect. You see this purple line is going from load checkpoint to the input of case sampler. So I'm just removing it from here and attaching it here with this LoRa model. And then from here, this model, the output of LoRa is going to the case sampler. This is what we needed to do. Another thing we need to do is that you see that these clips are both going into positive and negative prompt. Let's remove it from here. And from here, just enter it to this clip. Now, before I move forward, another thing which is required by stable diffusion models is that we need to set the stop at clip layer. For that, add a new node, and I have defined it in my other tutorial. Let's search for clip set last layer. Just move it here somewhere. It is already selected to -1 value, which we need. So it just skips some of the prompts here. Anyway, so from here, LoRa's output clip, attach it to the input of clip set layer, and then from this clip, attach it to the positive and attach it to the negative here. So now our LoRa's are configured and our clips are also attached with the load checkpoint. Another thing which we need to do is to, you see that we have this VAE attached. Let's remove it. We will use our own VAE. So for that, double click here and then just say, sorry, load VAE, press enter here, and then let's attach this VAE. First selected, we are going to go with this FTMSC, which is quite a universal VAE by the way, and simply select it to this VAE. So our VAE is also selected. Let's move it, just make it shorter here. Okay, so we have our checkpoint, we have our VAE, and this is empty latent image. Just keep it as is because we are just using empty. We want to proceed with this clip text and encode here. Okay, so now that is done. Next up, let's get our upscaler, or for upscaler, just double click here and search for Ultimate ST Upscale and you will see it here. Now first time, if you have just downloaded this ComfyUI, you might not find it here. For that, you see on the right hand side we have manager. Click here, and if you don't know what ComfyUI manager is, again please search my channel. You will find a video there. It's a custom node which you need to install. Click on manager, go to custom node manager, and here simply search for ST or upscale, and you see that we have this ultimate ST upscale. So you just need to click on install. I already have it installed. So for you, if you are doing it first time, you would need to install it from here and then click on restart. And then Once that's done, you will be able to see it in the search box as I have already seen it here. Okay, so that is cool. Let me make it slightly smaller, and then or maybe I'll just adjust it here for now. Let me adjust it. So before we configure this ultimate STF scale, let's also add our control net model. For that, just double click on empty space and do load control net model. Let's select it, and then from here click on it. Maybe let me move it first up. So click on it and select the tile e-transfer, because we don't want the image to be tiled. So we have selected the model, double click again, and now we have to select another node for the control net, which is called as apply control net. Select it, and from this control net's input, connect it to this output control, to this control net input of apply control net. And another thing which we need to do, we need to get the positive prompt to this positive from the clip, and negative prompt to this negative prompt here. That is done. Also connect our VAE with this VAE, and for image we just need to connect this VAE decodes output to this image, and that is done. And from here we need to connect this positive to ultimate ST update and this negative to this ultimate ST update. For VAE, again we need to connect to this VAE from here, and as you can see that we have our so we just need to get our upscale model too. We will get to it shortly. Also we would need to join this image to this image from here. That is done. You can see that it is connected like this. Okay, that is done. For the model we need to select our rev animated model and then just connect to it. That is done. So the only thing remaining which needs to be connected is upscale model here. For that, let's double click here and just search for load upscale. Click here, and then we have load upscale model. It has already selected it, and all we need to do is to connect this upscale model with this one. So this is what we needed to do in order to generate this whole flow. I know this is very convoluted, but this is, if you just run this video very slowly and go step by step, you should be able to create it. And trust me, I have gone through this phase. Initially it looks very hard, but once you do it 2 to 3 times, just like I'm doing it in real time, and that is why I wanted to show you unedited raw video in real time, so that you would know that once you do it few times, it becomes quite easy once you understand these concepts. Anyway, so it's not finished yet. The nodes are all connected, so just review them again and again so you make sure that everything is connected. Once that's done, now let's try to also get our image here. So right now it uses this save image. I don't want to use this. I have just deleted it by just pressing delete button. Double click here and just select this preview image. I'm just connecting this preview image here, and then this will be our without upscaling image. I'll just make it like this, and then double click again here, and then again preview image. You can also, I think, shift control V to copy it, but anyway, so I'm just going to move it here, and I'm going to make it bit like this, and let's connect our upscaled image here. And of course we can rename these nodes if we want. Okay, so and now we need to set up some of the configuration here. For that, you don't need to do anything here. We already have set our clip set last layer to -1, which is recommended value for all stable diffusion models, especially 1.5. We have selected our LoRa, keep the strength as is. We have selected our checkpoint. We have loaded our VAE, so all good. So here we need to set the positive prompt or what we want to be in the image as we are using LoRa. So let's go to that LoRa's page, ComfyUI. Maybe let's click on this image, or maybe is there any other image we want to see? Maybe let's go with that one. And on the right hand side, you see that there is a prompt which has been provided by the author. For this image, I'm just copying it here. I'm just going back to my ComfyUI and pasting it here. So this is a positive prompt with all the trigger word and everything. Let's go back here and then grab the negative prompt. Let's go back to ComfyUI and replace this with the negative prompt. That is done. And next up, let's go back again here. You see there is other hyperparameters like guidance is 7, step is 40. Let's go back here. So this is a case sampler. Guidance is CFG, it says 7. So I have given it 7 and the steps are 40. Let's give it the steps 40. So both are set. Let's go back here. And then it is saying sampler should be DPM plus plus 2S A and Keras. So let's select that DPM plus 2S. So sampler is this. From here, this is a DPM S2S A or ancestral, and scheduler is Keras. So let's select the Keras here. Let's go back. And then you see it says seed value. This should be this. So let's go with this seed. Let me properly copy it. Go back to ComfyUI and select the seed here. Press OK. So we have selected everything. Looks cool to me. Now this is a case sampler. If you look at this, I'll just close this from here for now. If you look at Ultimate ST Update, it also has some of the same thing like steps here, CFG, sampler name. So make sure whatever you have set here also reflects here. So let me change all of these here. So I'm just going to replace this seed value with this one. Steps should be 40. And let me move it here. Okay. So steps. So let me quickly do it and I'll pause the video while I do it. So I have set the values. So all the values in Ultimate ST Update Upscale are identical to what we have in this case sampler now. Okay, so everything is ready. Let me click on this 3 horizontal lines at top right, and then let me run this query prompt to generate the images. So it is running at the moment, case sampler. Let's wait for it to finish. And then now Ultimate ST Update scale is running. Let me scroll to right. So this is what is it has generated. That is a non-upscaled image at the top. Let's see what is the upscaled image here. It is going to make some passes because we have set the steps to 40. So it is completing 40 steps. So it will take few minutes to complete. While that happens, let me introduce you to the sponsors of our video, which are AgentQL. AgentQL is a query language for extracting data from web pages quickly, easily, and at scale. You can use the Python SDK to run your queries in production using Playwright and use the browser-based debugger for optimizing queries in real time on any web page. AgentQL is quite a robust alternative to fragile XPath and DOM CSS selectors, as it uses the power of AI to analyze the page structure to find the data you are looking for. And I will also drop the link to their website in video's description. So okay, let's go back to ComfyUI. And it has produced both the images. In this small one, yes, it might look the same one, but let me make them bigger like this. So this is the non-upscale. Let me make the size bigger like this, and then we will see the difference. Let's hang on, let me make it. And there you go. I have put them side by side. Now if you look closely, the left hand side one is not as rich. It's slightly blurry from here, but this one has more richer texture. As you can see on this design, it is more tropical. And also remember that about this LoRa, this is about psychedelic sort of images. So once you look there and then you look here, you would see it is more detailed. For example, look at the head of this human or whoever, and look at here. This one is more proper. Also look at, it has 4 arms, you see, but this one has proper arms here, the right hand side one, the upscaled one. And also look at these bubbles on the left hand side. There is more psychedelic stuff. Also look at these where my cursor is. So these are sort of patterns and texture. Look at this one. So it is not very well formed. So at first glance, when they are small, they look same, but when you enlarge the size, then you can really appreciate the upscale images. And this is only a very first pass which I have just shown you, just to show you how to do the upscaling. And this is the only way you need to do. Trust me, you don't need to go and latent space upscaler and all that pixel. Just use this, you should be good to go. But once you have done it, you can do a lot of iterations on it. You can play around with the seed, you can play around with this sampler, this scheduler, maybe reduce the noise, increase the noise. Maybe you can even do the upscaling to 4 if you like. Maybe you could increase the steps, but it will take more time, more resources. You can play around with this guidance, which is a CFG, which dictates that how much prompt your model will follow. The higher the value, the more it will follow. Lower, it will be more creative, that sort of stuff. And you can play around with most of these, but you see that keep it easy, keep it simple, and you should be able to use it quite easily. Again, now if you really have been following the video and you have already done this video, this shouldn't look scary at all to you. So I will also be dropping the link to all of this workflow and stuff in the video description. Just load it and play around with it. If you still are confused, still are having any issues, please paste your question in the comments and I'll be happy to answer you. One question I might get and I wanted to answer is that why do we have control net here? So what happens is that if you don't apply the control on your image, the resultant upscale image might have some tiled issues. There might be different issues. If you want to dictate this to not keep it one tiled proper, then that is why I'm using control net. And there are a lot of other options with control net. Anyway, so that's it, guys. If it was useful and if you like it, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, please do me a favor and share it among your network, as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching.